What's up, everybody? Welcome to another video with the Crown Priestess. Happy Friday when I'm recording this. I hope that you guys all enjoy your weekend. We're going to see what the energy is giving at the moment. Just whatever comes out, whatever spirit brings to the forefront. I hope that this message finds everyone well. I hope that we're all taking care of our Holy Trinity, our mind, our body, our soul. And let's see what they're giving for today. Okay, I already heard monitoring spirits. So I've spoken about monitoring spirits before. A lot of you can be seeing like random like flies in your house, or you, even if you're outdoors, it can be like an annoying sort of pest, like rather than, and I mean like annoying, like, so usually flies are like this, or like gnats, but anything that may, like, especially if it gets close to your eye, or like you feel like it's close to your face, you can hear buzzing around your ears, etc. Those are signs of monitoring spirits. All right, you can have people that are looking into you, people that are speaking your name behind closed doors, behind your back, usually people that you know, right? Or just people who want to know you at minimum. I want to say at this time too, I was speaking this to another person with like not recently, and I was saying that the mistake that a lot of people make, no matter what path they walk, right, religiously, spiritually, or even atheists, the mistake that people make is that they have this stigma on what witchcraft looks like. And I'm here to tell you, like, a lot of times, 9 times out of 10, it doesn't look like somebody who is like using jars and potions and elements and bending the rules that way. That's more of like traditional, like, occult practice for shit that's beyond a lot of like what people are going through on a regular basis. But any words of the mouth can form a spell. You understand? That's why we call it spelling when we speak. Like, it's more so about intention, right? And anything that you are in consistent focus and intention on is essentially spelling, right? You're doing spell work. So this is why even when you do see people doing magic or doing witchcraft or whatever practice, there are intentions put into it. There are words being said. There are, thoughts, provoking thoughts that are intentionally transferring into this energy to manifest into reality, right? It's like prayer. And I don't, I know I'm going to move somebody's Christian soul when I say this, but prayer is a spell if I ever did see one. Okay, the way you chant, the way you repetitively speak something, or even sing a damn psalm, that is spelling. You are requesting an unseen entity to perform in your life. You are asking the universe, God, angels, whoever you're calling on to work with you to achieve something by spelling, by wording, by prayer, by affirming, by manifesting, by simply asking. It doesn't matter what the prayer is. Oh God, thank you for this day. Continue to bless my life. That's a spell. You just asked something that you can't see, something of a higher power, something of another world, to come into your life and perform. So what happens is, a lot of times, unbeknownst to certain people, unbeknownst to them, they are invoking magic. They're invoking spells through their words, through their intention, through their focus, through things that they are constantly trying to make happen. They're trying to bring those things into reality, into their life, whether they are good or bad things. So there is somebody or some people around you that can be causing delays, friction, missed opportunities in your life, even if it's unbeknownst to them. Because the thing is, a lot of us carry spirits that we have no idea we're festering. We have no idea live with us or live in our space, dwell in our space. So sometimes it's not necessarily that someone is pure evil and just wants to do harm onto you, but they have an entity latched to them that is. And those people have the light. That entity is often strong because of the things that it's being fed, right? At the end of the day, low frequencies, low entities and energies, things that are not so powerful, right? Things that are whatever. They need to feed, for lack of better words. They need to feed. And so they feed on different things. You know, some energies feed on joy, on happiness, on prayer, on things like that. Some don't have to feed at all because they are ultimate beings and they have enough power and enough energy in their frequencies to not rely on that of a human. Others, like our ancestors and things like that, they need us to talk to them, to pray to them, to ask for their help, to ask for their guidance, and all those things. Lower, even lower, yet lower or darker or more malignant frequencies need to feed on more things that are like heavily energetic. They feed on your body. They feed on alcohol. They feed on, vices and other things. They feed on whatever, so a lot of times you'll see people who, they just bring sort of this heaviness, this wrath, this jealousy, this whatever it is with them. And it's not always so apparent to them that they harbor this. It's not always. Sometimes it is. And sometimes they've become used to living with this entity, living with this energy that they carry. They're willing to host it, and leave it with them and carry it with them because they've grown attached to each other. And that's what it is. That's what life is altogether. It's attachment. The reason we even reincarnate is because we have not fully detached from whatever it is that we have not completed here. You understand? The minute that we realize that all of that shit is an illusion, or we actually complete whatever it is we thought we were attached to or we had to keep, so like we had to master, you won't come back here at all. A lot of people wonder why they consistently are in this unlike deserving loneliness or this undesirable loneliness, I should say, because undeserving is kind of crazy, but they find themselves in these patterns of just like heaviness, sadness, depression, whatever it is. And it's like, let go. You know what I mean? A lot of times it's because you are the person who is keeping this here. You are hosting this energy. You're feeding this energy. And it's draining you, whether you realize it or not. So I want to say, be aware of monitoring spirits. Be aware of people who are praying against you, spelling against you, whether it's intentional or not. And there are signs that you like, we can see these things all the time. Like, right? You ever had like really good news and you knew it was like inevitable, it's going to happen. Like, yes, finally, da, 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 da. And you share it with somebody and somehow it becomes a missed opportunity. Somehow, suddenly are just like, it is not going to happen. I'll give you an example. One time many years ago, I was going to be on TV. Okay, I got to the very last level of the audition. And in that last level of the audition, a person that did not like me, that did not see things, they didn't want me, let's put it like this, they didn't want me to become famous. They didn't want me on television. They were very jealous of this. And it just so happened that on the day of my audition, because it was like on a Skype, it was on a laptop. And so I had to be home. This is at a time where Wi-Fi wasn't a thing everywhere in the world. It was just like I had to be in my house using that dial-up to be on the computer. And this person was there and literally mad uncomfortably wanted to like literally be in the room with me while I was doing this, like not on camera, but just in the room, like a hating ass bitch. You understand? And literally this was the last point of audition. The last point, I was already speaking to the damn producers and everything. I had already sent them paperwork, everything like that. I did not get casted. And I knew then at that moment, and I'm talking about, this is like 15 years, this is like 20 years ago. Like, it's a long time ago. Because I'm 37 This was maybe when I was like 22 or 23. I was in my early 20s, and I did not get casted. Straight like that. And I know that it was because that person was in that room pissed off. Like, she was so pissed off, in fact, that I could see her anger, and she was huffing and puffing the entire time while I was doing the interview. And it was very uncomfortable. It was very weird. And I end up fucking up the whole shit because of this person. Why would she not leave or give me the space or any, like, why would you want to be right where I'm at while this is going on? Because you a fucking hater. That's why. And it's unfortunate, but people do things like that. And I'm sure I'm not the only person who's experienced stuff like this. Other things that you can look for, other signs that you can look for is like, let's say you're home, right? And some people, and I know that this applies because a lot of people share their space. A lot of people, I mean, I live in New York City. A lot of people share homes. You know, it's really hard to make ends meet here by yourself. You have to be a really established person. But I live alone. It's just me and my son. But sometimes me and my son, we will be here days. Everything's fine. Nothing's happening. We're in our routine. We got our shit going. Someone will come to visit. And this is different people. It's not just one person, because I've experienced this. Someone will come to visit, even if it's just for a few hours. And immediately, chaos. My son will start acting up out of nowhere. Things will just start to become disturbing. A glass will break. Something will fall. Something like that. And I realize, even unbeknownst to the visitor, they came in here with some energy that just ain't sitting right. And now I got to do the cleansing. Now I got to look like, check this at the door. And you know, my spirits in my house, they'll remove that shit quick. So that shit never sticks around. Sometimes it don't even come through the door. But my thing is, we have people like this who are family members, who are lovers, who are our own children, who are our own parents, who are our own siblings. And even if they are not, you can see it for yourself and use your discernment to say that this person is not really here to harm me. It doesn't mean that there isn't a harmful or hateful spirit with them. You understand? One that they can't control, one that they often don't even have. They don't even got the wheel, because they feed these entities so much. They feed into it with the negativity, with the draining, with the attitude, with the chaos, with the drugs, with the whatever it is. The demons become stronger than they are. And now they're taking over, right? They're the ones who's running the show. And so you'll see those little bits of moments where you get to see the real person shine through, or try to. And they often look very small, very weak, or you barely see that version of this person because they are not in charge, okay? So unfortunately, you have to be very careful, very discerning, and very, como se dice, pendiente, like you got to pay attention, okay? Somebody Hispanic watching this. Also, in more subtleties, right? And I know, please give me grace because I'm about to shake some shit up. A lot of times, people who are gift giving, right? And even if this is not a new thing, even if it's not that they bought you something new, it can be, people who just always want to give you stuff, like, oh, look what I got. Oh, here, you want this? Well, here, you can have this. Even if it's something that they bought for themselves, but now they see you and they're like, they just want to give it to you. Watch those people too. Because even in handing you something, it's not for you. It's something that their spirit is trying to benefit from 9 times in 10. Okay, so you just have to pay attention to sort of these signs of evil eye, hateful spirits, or, you know, these kind of chaotic energies, because these entities are often, they transport evil, they have malicious intent, and they are consumers of joy. You understand? You ever heard the term a killjoy? You ever been around somebody who's just like the most miserable, like, why are you here? Like, you don't even know why you're sitting in the middle of a bunch of people who's having a nice time if that's your energy. Like, get the fuck out of here. Why would you be sitting there sulking, making everybody just like, you know, like, now everybody's like wondering what's wrong with you, why are you acting like that? And then God forbid you ask them like, hey, you okay? And it's like, oh no, I'm good. But then the whole time with a face of, get the fuck out. Like, why are you in the chat? Get out of here. Go somewhere. Go take a walk. Go outside. Go home. Go to hell. But like, get out of here, because everybody will be good and this one person will just come in, and now the entire fucking room is in a shakedown. Like, you understand? So I don't know. There's a message like that for somebody. So I would very, and I'm recording this on a Friday. So this could be something that you're going to enter into in the weekend. You can be in social settings, etc. And you'll notice this behavior from somebody. Just pay attention, because somebody around you, like I said, whether it's unbeknownst or not, you see that? Closed off, guarded resistance. It's like on purpose, they just bring in this bullshit ass energy with them. And you don't need to be involved in that. See this? Control, tactics, truth, and expression. I don't know if this is something that you're going to have to address or that you need to address. But I would say don't feed. You know what things need to eat, right? It's like a vampire needs blood. So what do I want to do when I see a vampire if I'm not trying to become one? I'm not going to feed it. I'm not going to let it attack me. I'm not going to let it drink my blood. I'm not going to invite it in. I'm not going to do none of the things. Epiphany with storm warning. Unexpected and breakthrough. It's like, yeah, I don't know. I think that you're going to be able to see this visibly now, especially if it's something that you haven't paid attention to before. Maybe you had an inkling, but you didn't know. You try to check it to, oh, no, it's not that, it's not this, and you try to just keep the peace. It's not always your job to keep the peace. It's not always your job to be a peacemaker. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. You have to use your discernment. But definitely, and I said this to somebody earlier, to a private, a client that I have, you have to be the calm in the storm. Like, even when you... And what I said specifically verbatim was that we can't stop the rain from coming, but we can learn how to keep ourselves dry. You understand? And so the rain is going to come. The hurricane is going to come. But it doesn't mean, it might knock down a tree. I might lose power for a little while. But I can stay dry. I can make sure I have all the food that I need so that I don't have to step out. I can board up my windows. My house, ideally, I can keep it standing. We'll be okay. Some things are unavoidable. Some things are out of your control. You cannot change them. You cannot alter them. But you can stay in control of self. You can find resolution. You can be the calm in the storm, right? I was not always a person of reserve. I was not. I am a fucking Aries. I learned the hard way. Like the very hard way, like most of us do. But I have learned, I've went through my ram stage, I went through my shepherd stage, and I'd like to think I'm at least entering the sun stage of my sign, and high priestess at the bottom while I said that. And so I say this to say, we have learned to weather the storms. I don't have to get wet. I don't have to get sick. I don't have to be without shelter just because the rain is coming. I have learned how to live. I have learned how to coexist. I have learned how to protect myself from the rain as needed. You understand? And I'm a pluviophile. I love the rain. Sometimes I want to go dance in the rain. More airy shit. We like a little chaos sometimes. It's healthy to keep us on our toes. It's healthy for balance. But am I just a chaotic, raging bitch and just looking for low frequencies and trying to be a terrorist to people? No. And I'm not going to allow people to do that to me. So take that how it resonates for yourself. And what is your advice? I'm finna go. Keep a mystery to you this week. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to overextend anything. Yeah, go with the flow. Be the beacon, okay? There needs to be mystery to what you're saying, and you need to be able to say no, all right? If something doesn't feel right, if somebody's energy is not sitting well with you, don't go with them. And it's like, if somebody that I'm talking about, when I explained all that shit about the people in the front and the signs and all that stuff, if somebody like that is like, yo, you want to go out this weekend? And you feel like, don't do it. If somebody like that is like trying to come over, like, hey, you want to hang out this weekend? Oh, can I come over? I'll bring this. No, I'm good. Actually, I'm busy. Or whatever you need to say. Because honestly, Seven of Swords is just that. Like, it's strategy. It might literally be that you have to tell a white lie, like to get out of something, to not be involved, to not, have to have words or exchange with these people. You're not going to be, it's nothing. You have to. You're trying to keep your peace is what I see over everything, and you're trying to have things move as slowly and as effortlessly as possible, because I see that the chaos in this energy is not yours. Whoever I'm talking to, it's not yours. It's not your beef, it's not your chaos, it's not your depression, it's not your anxiety, it's not yours. It's somebody around you that's going through something, and because they're going through something and you're not, every time that they stare at you, every time that they look at you, every time you look calm, happy, excited, something nice is happening for you, there's something watching you, whether it's that physical person or something with them that's latched to them that doesn't like what they see. They are jealous of what they see. They want some of that for them, right? Like, damn, I wish I had that right now. I will watch my finances around people like this as well, especially if you're somebody who's doing well. 6 Pentacles on the bottom. If you're somebody who's doing well, the 5 of Pentacles. That was the 5 of Pentacles, still be there. Yep. If you're somebody who's doing well and this person is not, they're struggling financially right now, struggling with stability, they don't have a place to live. Let's say you got a job, they don't. You have a house, they don't. You have whatever, a partner, they don't. They're going through a breakup while you just got into a new relationship. They're going through, a rough patch with their housing or whatever while you just bought a new home. They're going through whatever. They are looking to take from you. Okay? I'm sorry to say that. I'm sorry that is that fucking blatant, but straight like that. This person is looking at how they can take from you. So you need to protect your assets. You need to protect your energy. You need to protect your space. You understand? And make sure that you are protecting all parts of your space. Somebody is jealous. It doesn't matter what they're jealous of. For some of you, this is somebody who's jealous of your parenthood. Maybe this is someone who can't have children or just doesn't have them. And so they see you with your children, with your family. It upsets them. It makes them resentful, It's unfortunate that people really have this fucking, the jealous entity is one of the easiest, one of the oldest, and one of the deadliest sins. You understand? That jealousy, that Cain and Abel energy. You understand? Cain killed Abel because he was jealous of how Abel was received. It like literally it wasn't because of anything super grandiose. It was literally because of the way his father loved him, the way God loved him. Sometimes that's all it is. Sometimes God is blessing you so, and people don't see the dark stuff. They don't see the struggle. They don't see any of that. They just see your perseverance. They see you take things on with grace. They see you press on almost effortlessly. They see God shower you with prosperity, with abundance, with opportunity after opportunity, and it pisses them off. It pisses them off. You didn't do nothing to this person. You didn't take away from this person. You don't gloat. You're not bragging. You're not doing none of that. And it still moves their fucking spirit in a nasty ass way. It's unfortunate, but it's real. It happens every day all over the place. So pay attention to these energies because somebody is watching you very closely. They are a liar. They are willing to deal with the devil, man. And it's their karma, whatever they're going through, so it's not your job to get in their way. You have to look at this energy too as, how do they benefit from me? Sometimes, and I said this to somebody, my client, I said it to her earlier. This person doesn't benefit them for you to learn, for you to grow, for you to do the things. It may look like that. People get very savvy, they get very smart, they get very, wise, and they know how to move and shake around things. And they will tell you that the way you're doing something is not the way to do it because they did it this way and this is what they focused on, and now look how great I am. Except that's not your story. We can all go to the DMV to take our permit test, and we're all going to have the same questions. But my question, my 1 through 5 looks different from your 1 through 5. They switch that up. And they do that on purpose so that I don't look to you to cheat. I need to figure this out on my own. And so your journey may not look linear. Your blessings may not look like how somebody else's blessings look. They don't know your story. They don't have your history. They don't have your reincarnations. They don't have your DNA, your life path. You understand? It's very different. If we were all meant to do the same thing at the same time in the same way, then why do we all have different life path numbers? Why is this person a 1? That one's a 9. This one's a 5. Why weren't we all born the same day? Why aren't we all born the same way? Why don't we all look the same? Why don't we all sound the same? Why are there so many personalities? Right? Used to be something a couple years ago where they thought there was like four types of people. Now they're learning there's like 22 types actually, and still progressing. No two are the same. No neurodivergent fucking that's why it's spectrum. It's no one is the same. Stop trying to fit yourself in a fucking bubble or in a class that was not designed for you, and do your own path. Don't let people just tell you. It's okay to learn. It's okay to be taught, you know, and have that exchange. That's how we grow. But it's important to always go back to self and say, this is what fits. Most people are unhappy as fuck because they're trying to fit in a mold that was not designed for them. They're trying to walk somebody else's path. They're trying to do what somebody else is doing. That's why all these bitches look alike. That's why everybody got on the same clothes. Everybody's doing the same thing. Everybody thinks the same shit is cool. Everybody follows the same celebrities and talks the same bullshit and listens to the same music. And guess what? To people like me, you look stupid. You look corny. That's great for you if it were you. But 9 times in 10, you're looking at some mask, some performer, something, because people are just not authentic, because they're not safe in their own skin, because they don't trust their self to be. You understand that they look to others to try and be, and that is not what Spirit is encouraging you to do this week. The Devil and the King of Swords. If that's not mind over matter, if I ever did see it, I'm out. Love, light, and abundance.